Today it's time for another Retro Nick video all about me building, painting and playing 60 Flayed Ones. And it's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. And if you're new to the channel and you want to learn about Necrons and more, then please subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so today I've got a bit of a treat for you. I've been through all of my very old Necron videos and edited all of my Flayed One videos together. That's me building 60 Flayed Ones, including some conversions, and then me painting 60 Flayed Ones in a month, and then I've got two battle reports for you. One from, I believe, 6th edition and one from 7th edition. Now obviously these videos were quite some time ago, so the quality isn't the same standard as I'm doing now, and there's quite a lot of ums and ahs in there as well. I have edited out quite a few of them, but they're still in there. However, I think this will be an interesting video for you, hopefully a motivational video, because well, I seem to be incredibly motivated about building and painting these 60 Flayed Ones for my themed army. If you do enjoy this video, then don't forget to give me a thumbs up so that I know, so I can make more videos like this one. Of course, if you don't like this video, then give me a thumbs down so I know that you don't like it, and maybe I won't make any more. We'll see, because well, it's my channel and I can make it if I want to. Anyway, here we go. Here is the video. Hopefully you will enjoy it. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, a Flayed One army. After I did my Necron Learning Curve video about the Flayed Ones, basically trying to be positive about them, even though they're, let's face it, they're a rubbish unit in the Codex. But I was trying to be positive, and that positive state of mind has inspired me, and I actually want to do a maxed out Flayed One army. So yeah, 3 units of 20 Flayed Ones. That's my starting point. Sadly, I only have 10 Flayed Ones. So I was very happy to receive these couple of Flayed Ones from Pocketpack Villain when he sent me over his cryptic. Check out my community cryptic project video for that. So that gave me 2 more. And then to my amazement, I've got a message from Jamie Williams, also known as Beej, or I always call him BJ. But yeah, BJ, he contacted me via the forum and said, hey, I've just put up my first video. It was a video response to my Hobby Anonymous video that I did, and it was a great video. I really enjoyed it, Jamie, so as you know, thanks for doing the response, really appreciate it. And in that video he said that he was going to send me some Flayed Ones. He was so interested in my Flayed One army idea that yeah, he sent me 4 Flayed Ones, which is absolutely awesome, Jamie. I really appreciate this. They're all intact, they've all got their claws, so yeah, that's fantastic. So now I have, I mean, these don't have the claws, but that's okay, I can convert them up, or green stuffs and claws or something. So there's 6 more Flayed Ones, so I'm well on my way to my first unit of 20. Thank you very much, Jamie. Okay, just going back to Flayed Ones. If you happen to have some Flayed Ones just sitting on a shelf collecting dust somewhere, I am in need of Flayed Ones. Now, I don't want to, obviously, I don't want to pay a fortune, basically, but I'm happy to negotiate. So I do really want to get this Flayed One army up and running as you know, I want to field this Flayed One army because it's going to be awesome. I've got some army list ideas. We'll talk about those nearer the time once I get all the minis. But yeah, envision that 60 Flayed Ones. Sounds good to me. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, this video is just going to show you how awesome our community is, because I just can't believe what's happened. It's just fantastic. My plan being that I want to make a 60 strong Flayed One army, just for the hell of it. And I just couldn't believe it when I had an email from Andy over at Leviathan Painting to say that he had some Flayed Ones and he was going to send them to me. And I have just received the parcel, and Andy, I mean, I just can't thank you enough, because it's just awesome, buddy. This is just awesome. Okay, let's have a look at the parcel. Now, not only did he send me some Flayed Ones, but I got a few extras in here as well, which is just unbelievable. So yeah, I've got a paint, the flesh tone paint, which obviously you must have left over. Thought he wouldn't use it. Thank you so much, Andy, because I will definitely be needing that. And in here, amazingly, 10 Flayed Ones. Just can't believe it. So 10 Flayed Ones, basically as new. And I've got the claws as well. There we go. All the sets of claws. This is just amazing. Thank you so much, Andy. Also, he's popped in a couple of extras, which I think are skull bases. Look like skull bases, yeah. I might actually use these on my Dreadnought for my Salamanders project. Might be pretty cool to have them on the base. But yeah, so what can I say? Thank you so much. It's unbelievably generous of you, and I really, really appreciate it. So the army is really going to happen now. I've got 10 of my original ones. I've got these 10, that gives me 20. I have 4 from Jamie, 2 from Poku. That gives me 16, so I only need 34 minis left to get this army up and running, which is just fantastic. So I should keep an eye out on eBay, or if any of you guys have any Flayed Ones, willing to buy them, as long as they're not, you know, silly prices. Old minis, new minis, I don't really mind, to be fair. So I really, really want to get this done. Now, what I'm planning on doing is I'm not going to touch these models until I get all 50 Flayed Ones that I need. And then I'm just going to have a massive Flayed One fest. And I'm going to file down, build and paint all 50 Flayed Ones all in one go. Massive batch paint. Which is going to be a challenge, but, you know, what the hell, who cares? Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, the Necron Flayed One army is nearing. I'm planning on making a Flayed One themed Necron army, purely because Flayed Ones just don't have any love at all out there, and we all know why, because they're pretty rubbish on the table, let's face it. But having said that, I want to try and make them work, and I want to really make them work, not just have like a 1 unit. I'm going to go all out with 3 maxed out units of 20. So, previously I had my original 10 Flayed Ones, and then I was very kindly donated 10 more by Labyrinth Painting. Thank you, Andy. So that's my first squad of 20. I've then managed to get 6 more from my blog. Cost me about 15 quid, which I thought was quite reasonable for those 6. I've managed to just get these as well from eBay. These cost me 23 quid including postage for 10, which is again pretty reasonable. Now, bearing in mind that buying a Flayed One army like this from GW, forget the fact that they're the rubbish fine cast models and the cast is rubbish as well. I mean, these, in my opinion, these old minis are much better than the new ones. But just think about it, it's what, 25 quid, just under £25 for 5 Flayed Ones. So you're looking at £100 a unit. So just to do my army here that I want to do, just to fill the Flayed One slot, is going to cost me 300 quid if I bought it from Games Workshop. And then I need all the other stuff, HQs, troops, blah blah blah. Wow. You know, I like to support GW, but there's no way I'm going into GW and say, I want to buy 60 Flayed Ones, here's 300 quid. You know, so eBay, yeah, you got my vote. So yeah, so that's 10 there, with those 6, plus these 4, which are very kindly donated to me by Jamie Williams. Thank you, Jamie. So that gives me a second group of 20. Just started the third group. I've got 2 here from Pokupek Villain. So I basically need 18 more Flayed Ones. Potentially only 17 if you count this one, because I did model one. This was for when I deep strike. I modelled this to put down on the table, ready for the group to deep strike, and then when they deep strike I just take it off. But I could potentially use that as a mini. But I'll see how I get on finding more lots. I'm currently watching a few on eBay as well, so I'm hoping to maybe win a few of those, which would be fantastic. Now, a slight downside on some of these is they do have a few claws missing, which is understandable. The claws do come off fairly easy. Don't think it'd be too much of a problem. What I'll have to do is buy some plasticard and just make some claws out of plasticard, and then cover up the gap with some like green stuff skin, just like flayed over the claw. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but I'll see how I get on with that. But first of all, I just want to get the models. I mean, potentially I could just rip those claws off and just put those on a model as well. But first of all, yeah, I'm going to get the 60 minis together. Then I'm going to strip them all these ones, repaint them. I'm going to attempt to do 50 flayed ones in a month if I can. That's going to be my target. Once I've got them all stripped and rebuilt and all the claws done, I'm going to have a go at painting them all in a month, which is going to be interesting, but it'll be a nice challenge. But I just want to get this army on the table, so that is going to be my challenge. Of course, along with the challenge of actually making the army list. I've got a few ideas. I've got about 3 versions of a list with different concepts, so I'll probably have to play test them all, see how I get on. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, the flayed ones, I have them. I have all 50. So this flayed one army is going to take place very soon. First of all though, I've got to take all of these models that I've got randomly from eBay and from some of my subscribers who've donated. Thank you very much, everyone. Basically, I've counted them up. I thought I had quite a number without claws, but it's not too bad. I only have these 4 with no claws, and then 2 with 1 claw each. So it's not actually going to be too bad. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do at the moment. It's probably some plasticard, claws, or maybe a bit of conversion, or to be honest with you, I mean, I've got these quite easily and pretty cheap. I might even end up just buying another 6, just that I've got them all with claws, and then these here can become maybe some scenery, piece of scenery with a load of flayed ones coming out of the ground, or something like that maybe for the army. Might be pretty cool. But I'll have a think about that. But first of all, I obviously need to strip these, so I'm going to basically put these in some solution to soak them, and then I'm going to strip all the paint off. It's likely all the claws are going to come off, so I'm going to re-glue them in with some green stuff and that, make them as strong as I can. And then it will be time to paint them. I'm going to set myself a challenge painting these. I'm going to try and paint them all in a month. Now what I'm thinking is I'll do them in 3 units with different skin types. So I tend to play against Blood Angels, Orcs, Tau mostly. So what I was thinking was have 1 squad with sort of human flesh on, which how I painted my original 10. And then I'll have a squad of 20 with Orc skin, like green skin on, and a squad of 20 with Tau skins, that'd be blue skin. I thought that would be nice, basically make them a bit different, and also make it easier for me to see which models are from which unit. So that is the plan at this moment in time. I'll have to see if that happens. If you think it's a good idea, put your comments below. That would be very useful, thank you. But lots more work to go before I actually start painting these guys. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, this is a progress video, so there's going to be a few different clips of me basically getting my 50 flayed ones ready to join my other 10 for my 60 flayed one army, which I'm really looking forward to getting on the table. So on the previous video I showed the models that I had collected from eBay, etc., and it's now time to prepare them. Now I did have these 4 without any claws, and these 2 with only 1 claw each. Now originally I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just buy some more, but to be fair, check the bank's balance, and really I don't know that I can afford it. So what I've decided to do is just convert them up. Now I tried various things. I tried first of all to make some out of plasticard, which to be fair wasn't particularly successful. I'm pretty fussy when it comes to things, and I just want them to look basically as near to this as I can get. So I came up with this out of my bits box, which is a Hormigaunt's Scything Talon. Now it looks quite organic because of the shaping that it's got and this little like cutout here, but with a bit of filing, scraping and shaping, I've managed to make these. They're very small, but if you can see this or not, there you go, sort of see it. A claw. So it's looking pretty good actually. I'm quite happy with it. Let me just stick one on to a model. Well, I won't be able to stick it, but lay it next to a model. There you go. It's looking pretty similar, I think. I'm very happy with it. Now I can actually do the hand. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to green stuff in some hands, only just a hand shape, and then I'm going to glue this onto the green stuff. And then what I'm going to do to cover the hand and the join, I'm going to just do some green stuff skin, because I mean the model's all covered in flayed skin anyway, so that should hopefully cover this up. So that is what I'm going to do next, and then I'll come back and let you have a closer look at that once I've done that. Okay, so that's the next stage done. So basically I've done a little green stuff like hand shape, put the claw on, and these are just drying now, but I've done that on all of those. Looking pretty good, I think. I mean there's not too much difference between the original and these, so yeah, I'm quite happy so far. But what I need to do now, when they're fully dry, is I need to go over with some like skin, but I can't really do that until they're completely dry. But what I have been doing is I'm getting the rest of the minis. Now I've stripped these. Now you may have seen one of my other tutorial videos in the past where I stripped models using nail polish remover, and I find that works pretty well, especially when you've only got maybe 1 or 2 models to strip. But I have 50 models here to strip, and I just wanted something better. I got myself some BioStrip 20, and I have to say this stuff is absolutely awesome. I mean it just strips so easily, and what I really liked about it is it didn't damage the super glue, so all the bits that was super glued on stayed super glued on. It didn't damage the plastic bases. It actually stripped off all the sand that was on the bases as well. So it's really, really good. Now this tub I think cost me about £8 off of eBay, but I only used about a quarter of it. But you can buy it on Amazon as well. So yeah, BioStrip 20. So yes, so basically I've stripped them down now. What I've done is I've just sorted them into the different type of models, because there's 4 different types. Grouped them up, so I've got 20 there. It's going to be 20 and 20 obviously, but I still have the humongous job of filing them all down. It's quite amazing how many of these models that were all painted up, quite nicely painted up, but they weren't filed down. So yeah, I'm going to file them down. Plus, I have a huge tub of claws which I've got to stick back on. I will use a bit of green stuff as well to stick them on. So yeah, I've still got plenty more work to do. Okay, there you go. So I've just gone in, finished up those claws, so they're totally done now. As you can see, I've got the green stuff skin, which is just covering up the joints. It's come out quite nicely. I'm pretty happy with them. I'll just move along so you can see the work. So there was 4 with no claws and 2 with just 1. And coming up at the end of this little run is an original. So that's what the original claws look like, and that's my stand-in ones. I think I'm pretty happy with them, to be honest with you. Okay, so what I did, as well as doing those, is I've gone in and I've totally finished this unit of 20 here. So now they've all been cleaned up. They've all got their claws on, and they're all glued to their bases. So that unit is done. Now I need to do these 40. So that's basically gluing them on the bases, cleaning up the models, cleaning up the claws, and then green stuffing the claws on. So yeah, 40 to go. But I'm on target. I'm just going to get these done ready so that I can start painting them November the 1st. That is the plan. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, the flayed ones are ready. So I've gone in with these 40 here, scraped them down, scraped all the claws down, glued the claws on. I used a bit of green stuff in there as well, just to make sure they're nice and secure. I've also gone in and put some metal into the bottoms because they were a bit front heavy with the metal claws, so that solved that problem quite nicely. I've also gone in and put some sand on the bases. Now, I've left 5 off of each unit without sand because they'll be the ones with crystals, so I'm going to have 5 with crystals on the bases, and then I'll have 5 with rocks on their bases, and then I'll have 10 literally just with the sand on their bases. That would give me the option to split the units up into 2 squads of 10, so I could potentially have 6 squads of 10 if I need to. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. I'm all ready for painting. All I've got to do now is prime them up black. That's probably going to take a lot of work because, you know, the usual story, I'll spray them and then there'll be loads of little bits that'll be missed. I'm going to have to go over them all with some Chaos Black just to get all of that metal covered. And then on the 1st of November, I'm going to start painting them. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm set my challenge. I'm going to try to paint all 50 in November. And I am going to run with these here with human sort of skin flesh on there. These are going to have orc flesh, and those are going to have Tau flesh. So that will hopefully break the units up quite nicely. And well, also make the painting not so tedious, because at least I'm going to be painting some different colours. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, Flayed One November. So this is my personal challenge to paint 50 flayed ones in the month of November. So I'm aiming to get a 60 strong flayed one army together. Already have 10 flayed ones, my originals, so I've just got those 10 to paint the same as those. And I'm going to paint these with orc skin on and these with Tau skin on, just to break things up a bit. I have my brand new Army Painter dry brush, which I've never used before. I used to use the GW ones, if I can get the lid off, but I came across this one. It was quite expensive. It was about £5. I say quite expensive, you know, for a dry brush, because they're usually pretty disposable, but it looks pretty cool, so I'm hoping that's going to make life a lot easier, because my metal work is generally dry brushed. So I'll be starting off with a chainmail dry brush and then a mithril silver dry brush, and then obviously it'll be on to the main section, really the hardest section, which will be the skin. I'm interested to see how my conversion claws will come on, how they're actually going to look once they're painted. I'm actually looking at these, I can't even see them here. Let's have a look, see if I can find one. Where are you? Well, that is promising, because I can't even find one of my conversion claws out of all these models when they're just black. So that's promising. Hopefully they're gonna match in quite nicely. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, Flayed One November. This is my challenge to paint 50 flayed ones in the month of November. So today was the first painting day, and what I've managed to do is I've managed to get the first coat down, which is a dry brush of Ironbreaker. Also the old paint chainmail is what I used to use. So what I did is I actually used a brand new brush which I've never used before. This is an Army Painter dry brush. It's a large dry brush actually. It's got an odd shape to it, but I was quite impressed. I mean, the splaying on that, considering I've just dry brushed 50 models, is actually pretty minimal. I mean, I remember used to use a Games Workshop one, just painting a squad of like 20 warriors. And I mean, after the first coat of dry brush, it was totally knackered, you know, totally splayed. But this one's actually working quite well, so I'm going to continue using that. I need to do another coat now, so I'm going to dry brush with mithril silver, which is just my first 2 basic coats, just to bring the metal finish up. I will be adding some more to that as well afterwards. But once I've got those 2 layers down, what I actually want to do is I want to start putting down the base coats of the skin. So then I'll have like all the base coats down, and then I can work on a bit more of the detailing. So yeah, that is what I've been up to. And this guy here, he is the converted claws that I did, which I'm very, very happy with. I mean, now I'm starting to paint them, and you really can't see that that is not an original claw. It's looking quite good, so I'm very happy with that. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, Flayed 1 November, and this is another update. So now I've gone in and I've dry brushed all 50 of them with Mithril Silver over the top of that original chainmail. So I've effectively done 100 coats with my new Army Painter paintbrush, and that is in still very good condition. So this brush here, very impressed with it actually. So I've still got some more dry brushing to do. I just set the camera down, see if it will focus in. So yeah, that's got the 2 coats on, but what I want to do is continue dry brushing. I've got this small GW dry brush, and I'm going to do, I can only describe it as like a wet dry brush. I'm going to build up the silver up here on the claws to make them nice and shiny. So I'll be using Mithril Silver. So eventually it's going to look like that one on the claws. As you can see, it's much shinier. I like to do all the dry brushing before I do any other details, just so that dry brush is quite messy. You don't want to ruin anything you've already painted. So yeah, that's going to be my next thing. So I'm going to dry brush all of the claws, and then I can start work on the skin. Nick speaking, and welcome to another update for Flayed 1 November. Okay, so I am painting these 50 flayed ones here, and next up I've just finished doing all of the dry brushing. So I've gone in now and I dry brushed all of the claws. So just get this camera a bit closer. So what I did is I went back over with Mithril Silver, and I did like a almost wet dry brush. So basically I started painting the tips here with the Mithril Silver. It was basically a little bit wet so that it would actually cover quite nicely, and then as I went down it dry brushed through into the original colour. So I ended up with some nice shiny claws which have come out very well. I'm very happy with them. Actually, that one there is one of my conversion claws, and again I'm very happy with those. They're looking really, really good. So yeah, I did that for all 50 of them, and I'm actually now all the dry brushing is out the way, I'm actually ready to start laying down the base colour for the skin. Now before I actually do that, I'm going to be thinking ahead here slightly. I'm actually going to start working on some of the basing material. What I'm going to have is I'm going to have some crystals on the bases, and I'm also going to have some rocks on some of the bases as well. So rather than waiting until I've got them all painted and then think, right, now I've got to do all the basing material, I'm actually going to do the basing material as I paint them, so that at the end I'm going to be ready just to put that material on. Okay, so I haven't actually painted anything on the flayed ones themselves this time, but I have been working on the basing material for them. So this is what I've done. Now the idea is that in each unit of 20, 10 of them are going to have nothing on the base, just sand, and then 10 of them are going to have rocks and crystals, and that is what I've been working on. So I've got these rocks here. Now these are basically just rocks I got from the garden. So what I did, I basically undercoated them with black, and then I've gone over with Dark Angel's green. I need to do some more dry brushing, just highlight them up. And then I've also made these little crystals. These are made from sprue, old sprue. Now I do have a tutorial on my channel about how to make Necron crystals, so what I'll do, I'll put a link to that in the description below. Go and check that out if you're interested. But once again, I've just undercoated them black, and I've painted Dark Angel's green on there. So I need to go in and line all the edges. I do a couple of different greens on there just to build up the edge. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. It's taken me a reasonable amount of time to do, but I think it's worthwhile getting this done now, because then when I've actually finished painting these, I don't have to worry about getting all this done. So it's going to save time at the end. And to be fair, once you get close to finishing the unit, I always find it's good to have anything that you're going to put on the base, all your basing ideas, just locked and loaded. Because it's once you've got all your paint down on the model, you just want to get that varnish on and get it on the battlefield. So yeah, that's why I've gone ahead and done this now. But next up is the main thing, and that's going to be doing the base coats of the skin on these guys, and that is where I think the time's going to be taken up, because to be fair, sometimes it's quite difficult to actually see where the skin is and where the metal is. But luckily, as I've already got those 10 already painted, I've got great reference material, so I'm just going to basically copy what I've done there on those original 10. Nick speaking, and welcome to another Flayed One November update. Right, I have now started work on the skin, and I've completed the base coat of the Tau skin. So I went in with this one. What's this? This is one of the new ones, the Fang, which is quite a nice bluey grey base coat. And to be fair, it took me quite a long time. I mean, the first one which I painted was this one. It took me 45 minutes just to lay down the base coat of the flesh. It's really difficult to work out where the flesh was. But what I've done, I set the models up. So these are all the same sculpt. So there's 4 sculpts, there's 5 of each. And then I just went down the line and gradually got quicker as I went. So I was down to about 25 minutes at the end of that line. But then I came across a new technique which really helped me speed things up. So what I did is, when I came to the next line, is I painted like one leg first. And then I painted the same leg on that one, that one, that one. And then I went back and I painted the other leg, and then painted the other leg. And I did one section at a time. I just felt like I was getting more done. It just felt like I was doing it quicker. Because I was basically just repeating that little section at a time, there's no like checking my original models and just seeing exactly where the skin goes. Because once I'd done it once, it was like fresh in my mind on that section. So it did speed things up. So that's all of those done. So next up, I'm going to do the 10 there in this sort of human type flesh, and then of course afterwards will be the orc skin on those. Nick speaking, and welcome to Flayed One November. Right, another update. So I've had a huge painting session, and I've managed to get the 10 Flayed Ones here painted with their skin. I say a huge painting session, it was actually a huge session because I was using this old paint, so I wanted to match them with my original 10 that I had there. And what I didn't realise is that this doesn't cover like the new paints, like the new foundation stuff. So I had to do 2 coats. So I painted literally for 6 hours solid, but I've managed to get them all done. And actually, now that I've got some skin painted on my conversion ones, so that is my conversion claw there, as you can see, with the skin draped around the claw. I'm actually very happy how it's looking, to the point that I actually like them probably better than the normal one. So yeah, that's very impressed. I'm very happy with what I've achieved so far. And now I've obviously got to do these 10 here. Sorry, 20. So I've got to paint these 20 in the orc skin colour to go with my Tau, and then obviously these human type flesh, which actually I'm just going to say is Blood Angel skin, because I know Lou from 40k War Paint will just love that so much. So yeah, Blood Angel skin, orc skin, that's for Aussie Orc, my pal, and then Tau skin. Don't really know that many Tau players, but my gaming buddy has Tau, so that's for him. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, just another update on the Flayed One November project that I have, and this time I'm going in painting the orc skin on these 20 guys here. Now I've managed to achieve 10 today, which I was quite happy about. I did a base coat with this War flesh, nice base coat colour, went down really well, only 1 coat, which was fantastic, unlike these ones here. I had to do 2 coats. So yeah, very, very happy with what I've achieved today. I've still got another 10 to do, so there's still lots to go. And then once I've laid down the flesh colours, I then can start washing and highlighting. I've got some more stuff to do on the metal work. And then obviously there's the eyes to paint. There's going to be 100 eyes altogether to paint. Not looking forward to that day. And then also there's like an emblem on their chests, which I have to paint as well. Nick speaking, and welcome to another update for Flayed One November. Okay, so I've done a few things here. I've completed the orc skin on these 10 guys, and I've managed to go in back to the basing material, and I've managed to do the rocks here. So basically just dry brushed scorpion green and then snot green. So those are done. I've still got to paint the crystals up that I'm halfway through. Okay, so just put the camera down, it gets a bit closer there. That's how the orc skin is looking, and I'm very, very happy now because I've got all that skin down, and I think I've just hit the peak of this project. So it's going to be a downhill walk now. So next up, I need to do the highlighting and washes of these skins. Now, going back to my original 10, so these 10 at the back, the ones that I've already painted. Now I painted these a long time ago, I mean probably about 10 years ago, and that was way before I knew anything about painting techniques. All I was literally doing, I just literally had the Necron Codex, and this is my beloved Necron Codex. Look at that. That is why I play Necrons, because of that picture. Just love it. But anyway, yeah, all I had really was this imagery here of Flayed Ones, and that's exactly what I did. I just almost copycat the image that I had the best that I could. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is I've got nothing too fancy on here. This is literally just been dry brushed over the skin and then the blood applied. So because I want this unit here to look exactly like the originals, that's all I'm going to do. So next up I'm going to dry brush these with, what paint did I use? Elf Flesh. I have a small amount left, just enough to do this. So I'm going to dry brush those. Now as for the orc and the tail skin, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with that. So I am going to wash that, and I am going to do some, I'm not actually going to blend it, I'm still going to use a dry brush type technique, but with some washes as well. So hopefully they'll all look good when they're all done. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, another Flayed One update for you. So I've now gone in with the different skins, done some washes. So first of all I did the orc wash. I basically went in with Devlin mud over the skin, and obviously all of these still got to be highlighted. But obviously where it's all dead skin as well, so I think it's good to have a bit of a variation from the norm as such, and that's why on my tail skin over here I went in with a wash that I made up of scorch brown, light purple and some Nuln oil, and I've just given that a nice wash of that. Not too heavy, fairly light. You can see some definition starting to come into the skin now, so these are ready for highlighting. And then after I did both of those, I decided that the original skin that I had here, which I've already gone in and I've dry brushed it. So I dry brushed it with the dwarf flesh, which is what I did in my original models, just at the back here. But after I did the washing of the others, I thought, no, I'm going to have to put a little bit more detail into these. So I've actually gone in and I've washed these as well. So I washed these with the, what's it called, Ogrin Flesh, so a flesh wash. And as soon as I did that, the detail, just gives the skin a bit more depth, so I'm a lot happier with it. So in the end I went over my original models, and although they've got varnish on, I just went over with the wash as well, and I'll re-varnish those when I varnish the others. So I'm a lot happier with those. So the skin is done on these here, the Blood Angels skin. So next up I just need to highlight the orc and the tail skin, and then that'll be all the skin done, apart from obviously the blood. And I'll have to go back in and just redo some of the metal work, which I'll talk about probably in the next video. Nick speaking, and welcome to another update, Flayed One November. Okay, continuing on with highlighting the skin. So in the last video I finished the Blood Angel skin, so I went on and did the orc skin. So just pop the camera a bit closer there. So what I did with the orc skin is I went in with a very small dry brush, and I dry brushed in first of all with Warpstone Glow, which is the old snot green, and then I went in with Scorpion Green. The Scorpion Green was really light coat of dry brush just to hit the edges basically. So looking a lot more orky now, I think. Very happy with the results, especially with that wash on there as well. It's got some nice definition. I'm hoping it's going to pick it up on the camera. If not, I've got some still pictures coming up at the end. And of course it's supposed to be dead skin as well, so I don't want it too vibrantly coloured either. So once I've done the orc skin, I went on to the tau skin. So this is the tau skin all finished, and the tau skin was dry brushed with Karak stone, and then a mix of Karak stone and white, just again the final highlights, just really lightly dry brushed. But mixing that in with that original wash that I did, which is like a purpley browny wash, it's looking really good. I'm very happy with the results. Now, I don't really know a great deal about tau skin. I know it's like a bluey, grey colour, but I did read someone's comment on a video once who said they paint their tau skin like quite blue for young type tau people, whatever they are, and then as they get older, he makes them lighter. So I thought I'd work on that basis, and the fact that this is a dead skin, I thought it actually would be quite light. So that's that's where my idea came from, to paint them like I did. Now obviously I still need to do all the blood on these. I'm going to try out the new Games Workshop blood. Going to make the orc ones quite bloody, I think. These would be painted just like my other skin. And the towel, I'm probably going to use a different colour, maybe quite a dark red or something. Okay, so next up I'm going to have to go back over to the silver colour, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with bolt gun metal on the silver, because with my Necrons, what I like to do is just I don't like basically when after I dry brush in the silver, methyl silver, I don't like them to be too like shiny, and what I find is a nice watered down mix of bolt gun metal over the large areas of the model actually tones down that silver and gives it a bit more of a metally look. Now I know there's not much metal showing here, so that's not going to take too long to do, but at the same time I'm also going to go in with some black. Like I said in one of the previous videos, I painted my original 10 here way before I knew anything about washes and stuff, but my instinct was that after I dry brushed it, that like the recesses just weren't really dark enough, so I actually went into the recesses and I hand painted in black. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do here, because I want to keep them all in line with each other so they look the same. Now there's not actually that much to do. It's basically the main thing is the spine area here at the back, maybe a few of the elbow joints and things like that. So yeah, I'm just going to finish up doing the metal work before I move on. In actual fact, before I do the blood, I'm going to do the eyes as well, because the blood is like the messy bit at the end. Nick speaking, and welcome to another update, Flayed One November. Okay, so I've gone back in and done some work on the metal sections. I've done both of these units here, still got the tau one to go, but just show you what I've done. So, what I did is I got the methyl silver and I went over the edges of the claws, just on the very tips, just to make them really nice and shiny. I also went over all the little pins which is holding the skin into place, because obviously where I dry brushed that disappeared, so I just reworked those. I went into the very big sections of the body work, the metal work, with bolt gun metal, just to tone that down, like I was talking about in the last video. And on top of that, I went in with some black into the grooves of the models as well, into the joins. So I've done that on all of those 10 and all of the orc ones. So that's all the metal work finished on those two units. As I said, just the towel to go. I've also been working on the crystals. So what I've done is I've gone in with the first highlight on the edges of the crystals. So I still have another one to go. It took me about an hour to highlight all of those. So I've got about another hour to do there. And then it's probably going to take me 1.5 hours or so to do the metal work on those. And then I can start working on the next section, which will be the chest plate, because I've got some like glyph to paint on the chest plate. There you go. You can see that. There you go. So I've got that to paint, and then the eyes, and of course, and then the blood. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Another update for Flayed One November, and I've actually been quite a busy boy. Now I've gone back. I've done a little bit of backtracking here because I had a couple of comments on my previous videos about the orc skin not looking that orky, and I had a great suggestion from Eric French, who suggested I go in with some yellow and do a yellow highlight. Now I tried that on a test piece. I really like the results, so thank you, Eric, appreciate the comment and the suggestion. And yeah, went in, did all the orc skin with that, and I'm really happy with the results. So just get it a little bit closer for you. Hopefully this will focus in. So that is the end result, which I think is definitely looking a lot better than it was. Hopefully you'll agree. Now after I did that final highlight, I had to go back in and do the silver work as well, just because obviously the nature of dry brushing. So that unit there was done, and then I continued where I left off, which was to do the silver work on the towel. So I completed that unit, so that is all the silver work gone over, and then I went in and I did the chest plates. So just show you here, I've done all 50 chest plates, which is basically gold glyph on the chest plates. So I did all of that, and then I've gone back to the basing material. Like I said, I've done quite a lot. So the crystals now have the last highlight, so they are finished. So I went in with the scorpion green on the edges, so that's all done. And I'm getting slightly excited about doing the blood. Actually got myself the new Citadel paint, the blood for the Blood Guards blood, yeah. I think they should have just called it blood paint, but yeah, it looks really good. Now I know there's obviously alternative paints, but I'd like to just give this a go, so I'm just opening it up for you. It looks lovely paint. I haven't tried it yet, but the depth of the red looks fantastic. It's nice and glossy. I think it's going to work really well. But we'll have a deeper chat about blood in the next video, because now I have to do the eyes. Now there's 50 models, but luckily there aren't 100 eyes. There's actually only 50 eyes, and that's because the skin is draping over the front of the face on every model, or the sculpts. So it's only actually one eye per model. So hopefully it's not going to be too bad to do. But yeah, that's going to be my next thing on these guys. Nick speaking, and welcome to another update, Flayed One November. And the reason why I've got the camera so close now is because I've just finished painting the eyes. So you can see the green eye on there. That's just basically a scorpion green. And I've completed that on all of the 50 minis. Hopefully the camera should refocus. There you go. Now that job was made very easy, really, to be fair, because I had my very wonderful 000 brush, which is absolutely awesome. I use this for doing all my line highlighting and, you know, really fine details like the eyes. Now when I painted my first 10, I was just using the GW fine detail brush, and that's massive compared to this. This made life so much easier, so yeah, I'm really happy. So I managed to do all of the eyes, which is fantastic, and I've actually gone in and done the blood on the original colour scheme, which I'm dubbing the Blood Angels ones. So I've actually completed these now. These are all done apart from the base. This one here, as of note, is my green stuff skin and claws. That's the conversion I did for the ones that had missing claws, and I think you can hardly tell them from the original, so I'm very happy with those. Now in terms of the blood is done with literally just blood red, the old GW blood red. And like I said in the previous video, I painted those minis really based on the picture in the codex. This is the old codex, and as you can see, there's not actually that much blood, certainly on the claws, just really around the skin area, and I literally just duplicated that. And to be fair, I'm not a huge fan of blood and gore, really, to be honest with you, but things have changed, and maybe now I'm liking blood and gore, especially now that I have this new pot of paint, this blood for the blood guard blood paint, which I am going to use next. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the orc blood. Now I'm figuring that I'm going to make these quite bloody. I'm just liking the fact, I mean, in my mind, you know, orcs, you know, rough and ready, and you know, get their skin off. It's going to be a bit of a hassle getting their skin off, and I reckon blood would go everywhere. So I'm going to go a little bit heavier. I mean, it won't be like too heavy, but it's going to be heavier definitely. And I'm thinking about doing it on the claws as well. So they're going to be quite bloody. Now I've done a test piece of the new blood, which is here. Which, if I can get it to focus, there you go. Which is looking pretty good, I think. Now I've actually done a test for my Tau blood, which basically I used that original blood for the blood guard's blood, and I added some enchanted blue to the mix, and it came up with this like purpley one. I don't know. I'm just put the camera down so I can actually get it to focus. Right, there you go. Hopefully you'll be able to see that a bit better. But yeah, it's basically like a purpley blood effect. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that on the claws or not for the Tau. I might do just maybe a little bit on the claws. So I'll have one that's heavily blooded. The Tau could be like medium, and then the Blood Angels one will be just like light bloodified. So they've basically flayed the skin off at different times. So that is what I've been up to. So that's units finished. Just got to do the base. I've got to do the blood on the orcs, then I've got to move on to do the blood on the Tau. Nick speaking, and welcome to another update, Flayed One November. Right, I have now gone in and done the blood on the orcs. So yeah, using that new blood of the Blood Fallen Guard blood paint, the new GW blood paint, and I'm very, very impressed with it, I have to say. Take a look at these guys. How awesome are they? Really, really liked this blood paint. I had so much fun with it. I did a combination of like streaking. I did some big blobs. I did some spray using a little stipple brush, just like in the GW tutorial. It's awesome stuff. I really loved using it. Now, what I actually went for, the feel of these orc ones, is I wanted to have the feel that they literally just like taken this skin off the orcs. I mean, I can hear the orc screams in my ear as they've just done it. You know, they've literally just done it. So I didn't want the blood to look too congealed or anything like that. I just wanted literally to look like real fresh blood. You know, I can see all the dead orcs just like laying on the floor, no skin, screaming in agony. You know, their weapons haven't even got any blood on because they didn't even get a chance to go into battle. You know, these flayed ones came in, they just got all their skin off, and I think I'm going too deep. Okay, well, you get the picture. So yeah, I wanted these to look really fresh. Let's take a closer look at these guys here. I'm going to have some video, some pictures coming up at the end, so you can hopefully get a slightly better result. Actually, I have noticed that my videos, they're coming out a little bit different to the actual video footage that I'm taking. Even the still pictures. You know, you take the still pictures, and by the time you rendered them and they've gone onto YouTube, the pictures just look totally different. Like the last one I did, I had the eyes. You could hardly see the eyes on the YouTube video, but in the pictures, like really bright green. That's a little bit disappointing, but I suppose that's just part of the rendering of the footage and stuff. Nick speaking, and welcome to another update for Flayed One November, and we're getting really, really close to the end of this project. So, I have now gone in with the Tau blood, and I've completed it. Just put this down so it will focus a bit closer. So I went in with the blood for the blood guard's blood paint. and I added a little bit of enchanted blue to it, so it became quite a nice deep purpley colour. Thanks for the comments and suggestions. I think it's a great idea going for this purpley colour, and I think it works really well. Now when I painted it on, I tried to do it less, like less quantity to the orc blood, because the orc blood, I really went to town. I did blood splattering and everything, tried to make that look as if it's like just been put onto the, flayed basically. And this one I wanted to look like it'd been flayed, but maybe just a couple of days ago. So still a little bit gooey and wet, but it's just like, not really fresh. I didn't want it blood everywhere, and the main reason for that, just to try and make the 3 units a little bit different. Which they are looking nice and different, which is great. The idea is, some people have been asking me, am I going to mix the skins together in different units? Well, if I was going to play one unit, then I would do that. I'll have some orc skin, some Tau skin in one unit. That'd be quite cool. But the idea of actually painting the 3 different skins is so that when I'm playing the game, with the 3 different units, it's going to be really easy to distinguish the different units on the table, especially if I get into multi-close combats. It's going to be really difficult to tell the difference, otherwise. Also I went in and I put sand on the bases for the ones that I just put the crystals on. The other ones I'd already put sand on when I base coated them, because they're going to have the rocks or they're just going to be sand. So next up, and the final stage now, is to blacken the sand, blacken all of the sand here as well. So the ones that were black, I've got to touch up. So I've got to blacken all of them, and then dry brush them. I just basic system dry brush Codex Grey. I think it's a great way to highlight the black, and matches my board really well. And then once I've done that, it's just a case of painting the rims. And then I'm done. So in the next video, these guys will be finished. Wow. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video, Flayed One November, and I have finished. So yes, I've gone in now and I've completed the bases, blacked them all in, dry brushed them up and painted the rims, and I am totally done. In terms of how long it took me to paint them, I haven't actually been counting. I've just been grabbing as much time as I can. I've had some very good long 6-hour sessions on them. I reckon average time is probably about 2.5 hours a mini. So you're looking about 125 hours in the 30 days. So quite a reasonable amount of time, but I think it was well worthwhile. Really happy that I achieved it. Just going to move the camera in a bit closer so you can see them as they are. So that is the Blood Angels ones. It's quite amazing really, just doing the base and painting the rims up really makes a massive difference. It really just finishes the mini off. So that's the orc ones there, and the Tau skinned ones. And hopefully you've enjoyed the project. Still lots to come, so watch out for the tactical video next, and then finally a battle report. So yeah, pictures coming up, and thanks for watching. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, Flayed Necrons versus Blood Angels. We are playing Kill Points, Purge the Alien. I was past first turn. I've infiltrated the 3 squads of Flayed Ones, Imitech with the warriors here. Got 2 lots of scarabs, the wraiths with the Wraith Lord, and over the other side, Blood Angels deployed a Land Raider. It's got some normal guys in there. Behind the Land Raider is a Librarian, a couple of Land Speeders, 2 Whirlwinds, a Rhino with 10 men in, a Balpred, and then we've got some 2 Vanguards in reserve. So are you going to try and seize the initiative? He's going to have a go. If we can find a dice, there we go. A 2, nope, so I'll be going first. Okay, so that was my turn 1. I shot off 9 lightning attacks. There's actually 2 Librarians behind that Land Raider, and I did get 1/6. And then I basically advanced the whole of the army forward. A few pop shots on the Land Raider and on the bow from the warriors, but I didn't get any 6s to glance. And that's it. So now it's turn 1 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so that's Blood Angels turn 1. And basically I took a massive amount of shooting on the Tau squad of Flayed Ones. But in the end, with the RP and the Orb, I only lost 3 of those. And then Whirlwinds attacked this squads over here. I lost 3 of those after the RP roll. Then these guys got out the Land Raider. We had a bit of an assault. I killed a couple of them. I lost a couple of scarabs, and we're just locked in combat. So now it's going to be my turn 2. Okay, so that was my turn 2. I took the Wraiths into that unit there, continued the assault. Just 1 guy left standing. These just moved away from here because I was getting blasted with both units of the Whirlwinds. These just juggled forward. I took some shots at the Land Raider, got 2 hull points there. The Tau Flayed Ones went in and I wrecked both of the skimmers. The Destroyer Lord, he ran off by himself and he destroyed the Predator that was there. The Scarabs tried to assault that Rhino and failed. And these are just waiting here because obviously there's some Blood Angels reserves coming. So I got first blood and 2 more kill points there, so it's 3 kill points in that round. But now it's Blood Angels turn 2 and reserve. Okay, so that was turn 2 for Blood Angels. The first Vanguard squad tried to go here, scattered, and I was able to redeploy. I put them on this piece of terrain. He then assaulted my Wraiths. Big combat there. I killed some Vanguard. I lost 1 Wraith, and then I destroyed the other single guy that was there for a kill point. Then over here I was assaulted by these Vanguards that also deep striked here. And then I only lost 1 warrior, but I rolled 11 on the leadership, and then I was swept. So that was 2 kill points gone there with the Warlord. And then over here, these guys bowed out and shot my Wraiths. I lost 3 or 4 of those, and then that was pretty much it. So it's currently 4 kill points to 2 to Necrons, and now it's turn 3 for Necrons. Okay, so that's my turn 3. I basically rapid fired those guys there. 1 was standing, then I assaulted with the Orcs, Orc skinned Flayed Ones, and wiped him out for a kill point. Those Flayed Ones went over and assaulted those guys, and we wiped those out. The Scarabs and the Lord assaulted the Land Raider, but it only took the Scarabs to destroy that. The Warlord was destroyed with these warriors here. He'd already lost a wound, some perils. And they just basically just stood there. And then we continued the assault, and I killed the other guys that were there as well for another kill point. So now it's Blood Angels turn 3. Okay, so that was Blood Angels turn 3, and just conceded. There was just the Rhino left, that Librarian, and 2 Whirlwinds. So fantastic game, really enjoyable. Hopefully you enjoyed the battle reports. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, this is the first game with the new Flayed One list that I've got. This is now using advantage of the Decorium. So I've got my 60 Flayed Ones deployed at the front, 3 formations, 2 Synoptic Harvests there, Overlord with Immortals, got some Warriors here, 10 more Warriors in reserve, Tomb Blades are there, and I'm playing Emperor's Will. 2 objectives, so this is my objective, and I'm against Blood Angels, put their objective just there. Deployed Librarian with some bikes, Death Company there with Thunderhammers and stuff, 3 multi-melter bikes there, Heavy Bolter Skimmers there, there's a tactical squad behind that rock, another tactical squad there. Behind those 3 like rocky things, there's 2 Whirlwinds, and there's a Storm Raven with some tacticals in as well. I am currently going second, but I'm going to have a go at seizing the initiative, so here we go. a 2. Nope, so it's going to be Blood Angels turn 1. Okay, so that was turn 1 there for the Blood Angels. The bikes and the skimmers and everything moved up. Basically targeted my flayed ones here with the tau skin. 2 whirlwinds came in. I couldn't get 1 4+ RP save, so I lost 4 from the whirlwinds. And then everything here shot me with all their mounted guns and heavy bolters, and I managed to get all of my RP saves from those. Scarab took a wound here just from the whirlwind blast, and I lost a wraith, and this wraith's got 1 wound from the bikers just over there. And that was it. So now it's my turn 1. Okay, so that was my turn 1. I basically gave RP to all of the Kinetic Harvests, moved these back slightly towards the warriors, and then I moved and ran everything forward as fast as I could. Tomb Blades moved fast down the edge of the board there, and that was it. So it's going to be turn 2 now for the Blood Angels, and we'll see if the Storm Raven comes in. Okay, so that was turn 2 there for Blood Angels. The Storm Raven came on, just came on as a skimmer, and came up here along with the mounted guns on these bikes, blasted up my Tomb Blades. I did jinx. I lost 1 Tomb Blade in the end. Over this side, the bikes and the speeders shot into my wraiths. I lost 1 wraith and the other one's got a wound. And then the Death Company came up and assaulted my flayed ones here. Yeah, lots of feel no pain type rolls. I lost 2 flayed ones in the end, and Death Company, it's not quite as good. They lost about 4 guys, so we're just locked in combat there. Whirlwind shots over here. The first one scattered off and did nothing. The second one killed a single flayed one just in the middle there with the RP rolls. Okay, so turn 2 for me, and reserves. Let's see if my warriors come out. So on a 3+, a 2. Nope, they don't come out this turn. Okay, so that was my turn 2. I gave the 3 wraiths their shred, and the other wraith feel no pain. Sorry, reanimation protocol. And then I basically generated 2 swarms, and I moved everything up. Tried to assault the bikes here with the flayed ones, but I was out of range. Moved the Tomb Blades fast over the corner where those whirlwinds are. Over this side of the table, the single wraith assaulted the Death Company. I managed to win that assault and consolidated. The 3 wraiths went into the bikes that were there. I did 3 wounds, they failed the morale, and then they ran away. I was hoping to stay locked in combat so that I couldn't get a shot next turn, but that didn't happen. Okay, so now we're looking at Blood Angels turn 3. Okay, so that's turn 3 there for Blood Angels. Everything turned around onto my Tomb Blades. I managed to save everything from the shooting. Assaulted me with the bikes there. I lost 1 bike, didn't kill anything, and I howled, didn't run away. Whirlwind shot the flayed ones here. Bit of a scatter. I did lose a couple of flayed ones. Over this side, the speeders and the bikes moved back, shot my wraiths. I lost 1 wraith and a wound on another one. And that was it. So, my turn 3. Let's see if my warriors come out. 2. No, they don't come out again. Okay, turn 3 for Necrons. Okay, so that was my turn 3. I gave RP to the Harvest, produced another couple of Scarabs, moved and ran both of those flayed ones up forward. These Scarabs tried to assault that vehicle. I needed a 12 and I got 11, not quite there. These just moved up here and ran forward. The Wraiths assaulted the bikes, killed 1 bike, 1 wound left on that one, just locked in combat, didn't take any wounds. The Scarabs went in and I've managed to wreck all 3 of those skimmers. So it's now turn 4 for the Blood Angels. Okay, so that's Blood Angels turn 4. The skimmer came over here, moved fast. Okay, my flayed ones here took a couple of blasts from the whirlwinds. I lost about 5 guys, found my leadership, and I'm currently running. Over this side of the board, these guys got out 3 flamers, took a big chunk of my Scarabs there out, rapid fired me. I did reasonably well with the RP that I had on them, but yeah, just down to 4 bases. The Wraiths here took out the bikes, and then over this side the Tomb Blades finally fell to that bike squad over there, and that tank just moved fast up over there. And that was it. So we're now looking at turn 4 for Necrons. Okay, so that was my turn 4. My reserves came on here. I rapid fired everything here at the Storm Raven. I got 1 whole point and it jinxed. Over here these just regrouped. Sent the flayed ones over to the bikes, well, I did quite well there. Loads of shred attacks, really worked well, and not great saving from the Blood Angels player there, so I managed to wipe them out. Over here I had to throw an 11 to get those scarabs in. I managed to get 2 6s, so I managed to get into that whirlwind, took that whirlwind out. These tried to assault first, but they failed. Over here I got the wraiths into the assault. I lost 1 wraith in the Overwatch, that was 1 unit, so these 2 from another unit. And then I've got the flayed ones in as well, and I managed to wipe out all of those tacticals there. The Tomb Spiders just moved up there. And that was it. So we're looking at Blood Angels turn 5. Okay, so that was turn 5 there for the Blood Angels. The Storm Raven landed just as skimmer mode now. The Blood Angels got out, flamed me with their 3 flamed, rapid fired me. I lost 6 warriors here, but I didn't run, so that was quite useful. The Whirlwind went for this big squad here, scattered 12 inches. And the Storm Raven shot there, but it was snap firing, didn't do any wounds. Over this side of the table, the flayed ones had to take a leadership check because they were tank shocked, and I rolled 11, so we're currently running. So that's it now, turn 5 for the Necrons. Okay, so that's my turn 5. The flayed ones tried to regroup and they failed. They ran another few inches. These scarabs came over here, did 1 whole point on that. The other scarabs went over, took out the other tank, moved everything up here onto the objective. That's my objective at the moment, and I have First Blood and Slay the Warlord. These flayed ones came up here, tried to assault that tank, just slightly out of range. I then rapid fired and assaulted with the relentless rule. I managed to kill all of them apart from 1 guy who's standing there, and he is with 3 inches at that objective, so that's the Blood Angels objective if the game ends. Okay, so let's roll the dice and see what happens. So 2, nope, game ends. So it's 3 points to Blood Angels and 5 points to Necrons. Okay, so there you go, and if you enjoyed that retro video, I've also made this one here about my Catan Void Dragon conversion. And here is a video about my Flayed One Army evolution. basically the army lists and how they've changed over the years. That's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one.